why I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Um, Initially, I wanted to start a YouTube channel because I feel like I'm a I have a lot to say because I'm a person that loves to learn. And since I love to learn so much, I felt it was almost my duty to put out information that I was learning and share it with people. Because I don't think knowledge is meant to be hoarded. I don't think it's meant to be held in. This is this is light is abundant. Light is meant for us to share. Information, knowledge is meant for us to share as well. Like we're meant to share with other people. Just as love is meant to be shared with other people. Like you're not supposed to hold that in. Like things about yourself is meant to be expressed, and things that you learn is meant to be shared. It's meant to be passed on because for one, you're gonna put it out into the world anyway. In some form, in some shape or form, you're gonna put it out into the world anyway. And since you're gonna put it out into the world anyway, there's naturally gonna be people who want to learn what you know. And it's no point in learning something if you're not going to use it in some way, shape, or form, or to share it in some way, shape, or form. So, like, in learning things, I discovered that I was also meant to share it because a lot of the things that I learned are great things because I'm the type of person when I study something, I make sure that what I'm studying is top notch. It has to be the best quality. Like I study the best quality stuff. I don't go on like Google and just like search things and the number one thing is what I go off of and I feel like I know a subject. No, I study it. Like I study like different views and then I start to like notice like the different patterns like what is everyone saying that is like in common like and then I kind of study those things. I notice the patterns and I kind of study those things. But in studying those things, you kind of develop the language of the subject that you're studying. And in developing the language of the subject that you're studying, you gain more knowledge of it. And it's something that is I don't know what made me like learn this way or want to learn this way, but it has allowed me to learn a lot of things that I don't feel like a lot of people learn. I feel like it's a privilege for me to have learned some of the things that I've learned. And that's the only way that I can describe it. Like there's no other way for me to have learned the things in the way that I've learned them and for me not to appreciate it as a privilege. And that's just what it is. Like and in getting that privilege, I feel like it's a privilege for me to share that with other people. It's only fair that I share what I know with other people. If what I've received is a privilege for me, then it is a privilege for me to share it with you or anyone that I encounter. But another reason that I want to start a YouTube is because for one, I spend like countless hours on YouTube, like looking at videos on like comics, cooking, exercise. Sometimes exercise. I don't do exercise so much anymore, but I was doing it, for a while. And then also information, but I don't do information on there as much anymore. So I don't do it much anymore because now I look to myself for a lot of information because I've developed a relationship with myself of trust that I can also put out information about things that I've learned, throughout the years. as I said, like the way I've learned is like crazy. Like I've learned a lot of things from a lot of people, and I appreciate learning those things from those people. But I lost my train of thought. but but in learning, in learning those things from those people, and it, also it wasn't just trust. It was also just taking a step back, just like allowing myself to take a step back from listening to people so much, and just watching myself. I learned that a lot of the things that they were saying was true, regardless of whether they got it from some type of religious text, or or astrology or anything like that. Like, I learned that a lot of what they were saying was true, but it wasn't because of me just being like a student to the various teachers teaching what they were teaching. It was just like me watching my own life and being a student to my own life, and learning that these certain synchronicities weren't just synchronicities, they actually meant something. And since they actually meant something, I needed to figure out what they meant. And when I started to figure out what they meant, and started to kind of like really incorporate what I was learning into my actual life, I started to notice that not only was what a lot of the people that I was watching saying true, a lot of things that they were saying was true. I noticed that I could actually be sharing what I'm going through and what I'm learning and what I'm experiencing. And since I can share what I'm experiencing, or and the way that I wanted to share what I was experiencing was through YouTube, because for one, I could allow other people to see my life and to give someone else the experience that I experienced when I discovered what I discovered about studying my life. And not necessarily for the credit of like, this is my life and you should follow me, or nothing like that. But it's just like, because what it'll do is it'll lead you back to yourself. Everything that, especially if you're on a spiritual path, like everything that you listen to, it'll eventually lead you back to you. That's what it's like a paradox. Like, you could study like all these things about spirituality, but what it'll end up doing is it'll lead you right back to you. It'll blow your mind, but it'll lead you right back to you. But yeah, and that's just another reason why I want to start a YouTube channel. Another reason is kind of it's interesting to me, but it's because like a lot of people consider me like weird and like eccentric, but I see myself as normal. So in a way, I started the channel to like kind of like expose people to my world, like to bring them in, to show them that like I'm a regular person and I do regular stuff. I mean, I think different and I probably dress different, whatever, but I'm a regular person. And I just love to have fun a different way, It just is what it is. But I wanted to show people my life. And since I'm like a very private person, I wanted to like include people in my life in this way. And this is the only way that I can see myself doing this right now at this point in my life. I mean, it just makes so much sense to share myself in this way at this point in my life. And I think I do some pretty interesting stuff. It's regular to me, but I think it's interesting. I think it'll be interesting to watch. And I think I'm an interesting person to watch because, for one, of my energy. For one, the fact that I'm somewhat, you know, an intelligent person. You know, I've studied a lot of things and I have a lot to share. So, you know, that's just another reason to put to start a YouTube channel and to have people watching me for that reason, you know. And why not control the narrative, you know? I mean, I may be considered weird to some, but I don't want to be considered weird to everybody. But then again, if you watch me and you still consider me weird, then whatever, you know? It is what it is. I mean, I'm just going to be me regardless. And that's just what I want to do. I just want to present myself in this way. And I want people to see my world, you know? But yeah, I didn't rehearse this. Like I thought of the topic like maybe like a day or so ago, and I didn't rehearse. Like initially, I was gonna like write down like, you know, things that, you know, kind of like led me to wanting to create a YouTube channel. But I kind of just wanted to freestyle this, you know, come off the top of my head, and I feel like I did pretty good. I feel like I touched on every subject that I wanted to touch on as far as like creating a YouTube channel. But yeah. Oh, I also want to well, that's kind of implied, but I also want to like get into the habit of vlogging, because I think that's like one of the coolest things. Like, because for one, you're going about your day and you get little tidbits of like what's going on throughout my day, and what's going on like in my mind. What am I thinking that day? Because for me personally, like, I evolve a lot. Like a lot of my thoughts or the way I feel and all these things, it changes. Like, it changes like day to day. And sometimes I'll say something like, or think something like very insightful and deep or whatever, and I don't necessarily like write it down, or I don't like record it, but I want to get into the habit of doing so. And I want to like be able to go back and see like, okay, well, this day I was thinking this, and it was like a really cool thought, and I'm able to like go back and look at it and to share it with people, because sometimes it's a thought that can be helpful, or it could be like just very interesting, or it could be funny or whatever. And I just want to have a record of that, and, you know, be able to go back and just like laugh at it, you know. and that's something that I've also been doing a lot lately. I've just been like laughing at myself again, and this is something that's it's been hard for me to do, like for the past few years, just like to really like laugh at myself and just like be free and let go. But it's something that I've been able to do lately, and I'm really glad that I've been able to do it lately. And I want to be able to see that. I want to be able to see myself like having fun, and to, you know, whatever, just be me in front of a camera or whatever. Anyway. But I love you. Love and light, peace, and all those things. And I will catch you on the next video.